Hello there everyone, it is Tarot Tuesday and it's 7:37 on my clock right now. So we got some dice spread out, we got 3 decks, we have 2 decks right here and a master card that's set here for everyone. So what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to pick rather deck A or deck B. Once you pick one of those decks, then we're going to go ahead and start reading. I'm going to give you about 2 or 3 minutes to really figure that out. Ready? Go. Do 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 do. There, we're done. Okay, so if you didn't figure it out, too late, because the theme music is now off. All right, so first we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start reading like all these dice. Okay, so down here, first of all, Neptune, double Neptunes. We have our crown chakra and then we have our throat chakra that are both telling us that we are diving into the realms of the spirit, right? So our throat chakra and our crown chakra are heavily merging with our third eye right now. And they both have 2 sun ascension nodes on the bottom right there, which is basically forcing us to see the higher realities of life at our crown chakra and the deeper, most darkest truths within our shadow and our authenticity at our throat chakra. So you might be having some really powerful dreams lately where you're kind of like, last night I had a dream with somebody that, I have never ever talked to, but I've seen like in passing, and I kind of felt like that person was really trying to communicate with me. Maybe you've been having dreams like that. Maybe you've been having dreams that have been forcing you to kind of look at deeper perspectives of yourself. So whether you're astral traveling really heavily right now or you're doing a lot of soul work right now, the Neptune energy is really strong, forcing you to evolve your intuitive centers in general. Then we're going to go ahead and look here at the Jupiter, which has to do with our abundance. Okay, we have our solar plexus and our root chakra here tied to abundance. Well, if you're in America, there's a shutdown going on. A lot of places are actually doing shutdowns all over the world. And what's the main thing that's in everyone's mind? Abundance. Everyone has fear of abundance and what's going to happen. And the only thing that's on their mind right now is abundance. How are we going to figure out that abundance? But again, we have 2 sun nodes here, 2 ascension nodes, telling us that it's going to be okay. So don't go ahead, feed into these energies, because then you're going to throw yourself out of alignment. If anything, give those 2 chakras a little bit of attention so you can really come out on top and not be affected by the drain that everyone's feeling about abundance. Because remember, this is something that I actually thought about earlier today. Currency, right? What is currency? Currency is frequency, right? Currency, frequency, the ending word is the same, all right? So when people think about currency, they don't really think about the fact that it's energy. Start thinking of energy. If your mind is in lack, you're going to be in lack. If your root chakra is in lack, it's going to create lack, because your root chakra is full of creation power, and your solar plexus, it really controls matter in general. So then we have the sacral chakra, we have the third eye, and we have the heart chakra here on Venus. So Venus has to do with love, has to do with sexual power and embracing ourselves. And then we have 2 double moons here. So you need to bring a lot of love right now into your subconscious. So then we can see like this love here has to do with subconscious energy here. That's the main thing right now. If you haven't been drawn to doing like love meditations, if you haven't been drawn to giving yourself personal love or radiating love into earth, that's one thing that you really got to start doing right now. Most lately, people are like somewhere in between, struggling with abundance, kind of trying to like amplify themselves spiritually and be honest with themselves, and then obviously give themselves love. Okay, if you're in my Patreon group, my Patreon temple, you definitely have been seeing me summon dark alchemy to clear out my reality and my throat chakra. Been definitely teaching you a little bit more about heart chakra stuff as well. That's pretty much the gist of everything. And right now, don't even worry about abundance, or else you're going to be struggling with abundance. So now let's look at the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is ascension node, all right? Sacral chakra is also tied to abundance, it's also tied to your emotions, and it's also tied to your intuitive centers. So very interesting how the sacral chakra here is kind of like at the sun center, which is all ascension, revalidating all of this. So right now is a moment for you to be just tuning into your chakras, letting go of all that extra crap that's there, and moving forward. So then let's go ahead and look at these 2 main sun cards that accompany this dice right here. we have the earthy, okay? And this is from the yin deck that I have of my energy cards. So earthy is all about obviously the earth and talking about foundations and building the things that you're going to use to grow your new state of being. Okay, so right now you shouldn't be spending. Right now you shouldn't be trying to, you know, escape yourself diving into like apps, or you also shouldn't be denying yourself like the truths that you already know that are very profound, because right now it's a moment for you to control your reality. It's a moment for you to ascend so you can ground that ascension into your reality to create the foundations of ascension towards the future when this is all over and done with, okay? So then we have the shaman deck. We have the 10 of bones, the 10 of stones, which is the earth is self-healing. That's literally what it means. The earth is self-healing, which is very amazing stuff, because the earthy and the earth of self-healing is coming together. This is basically saying that things are going to come to a culmination when it's all over with, that this was orchestrated by Gaia. I've been saying this for weeks. If you've been in the Patreon temple, that Gaia had a hand in some way of like making sure that she was going to take advantage of whatever was going on due to like human error. And because of it, there's going to be a revitalization of the earth. We do see that. We see that, you know, there were these companies and people all over the world, like the people in power were saying, hey, we can't shut down, you know, all of our businesses because of global warming and extra whatever. And this virus was like, nope. It's going to be definitely like, you're going to shut down everything, right? So because of it, we've seen like places like Venice thrive with life. We've been seeing so many other things come into alignment with itself. The ozone, all these things that Mother Earth has been really craving for a while are now actually starting to happen. So very good energy right here. If you've been scared, know that we have stepped into new earth. Like, this may seem catastrophic for some people. It might be painful because some of us are losing people that we know, but 7:44 on my clock, do not fear, because this is part of the greater scheme of everything. We are in new earth and we have to transmute old energies that no longer serve us. So I'm going to read deck A, okay? We have the Isis, the Isis knot of Isis, basically telling you to shake off everything that does not serve you anymore. So the knot of Isis basically holds things at the top, and then ragdoll shakes everything on the bottom out. This is a very great talisman as well from Isis. If you know how to summon energy, this is a talisman that you might want to be using right now to shake off all that negative emotional energy that is no longer serving you, maybe pertaining to abundance or your own self-love, right? But this is an emotional card that also aligns itself with this sacral chakra dice. Very simple. Similarly, you have to be doing yoga or spiritual practice, right? It doesn't always have to be yoga with Babaji. It just has to do with spiritual practice. And when you're doing that spiritual practice, it's just really important for you to understand that spiritual practice can be journaling, it can be meditating, it can be cooking, it can be taking a moment to analyze what's actually happening around you, right? One of my spiritual practices lately, like I said, has been calling people out for the energy that they do not actually have, you know, in alignment with my energy anymore, regardless of how they want to take it. Then we're going to go into the shaman deck. Is a moment for you to really start looking inside of your soul and picking up all the fragments that actually serve you and leaving all the other fragments that do not serve you at all behind, okay? Because if not, you're going to allow yourself to exist in a state of lack. You're going to allow yourself to exist in a state of torment. This particular card right here in my shaman deck has to do with psychic attack. Sometimes psychic attack doesn't have anything to do with somebody else attacking you. It can be just strictly you attacking yourself, okay? So it's something that you really got to pay attention to at this time, because part of it is letting go of all that negative energy, developing a spiritual practice, a regular spiritual practice, looking into yourself, finding those fragments that really work out, letting go of all the other stuff that could be self-sabotaging you. And similarly, it gives you hope to find the truths that are above you, the truths that allow you to ascend into the clouds, to rise above earthly matters, so you can then become more targeted with your generalized experience. So this right here is all about healing. If you pick deck A, this is all about healing. Then we have the gold dragon, the golden solar dragon. It helps you to stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed with the light codes that are being activated. Become an inspired leader. Okay, so maybe right now you're noticing that people are reaching out to you because they're having issues, and you know, you're stepping into a position where you can be doing more than what you're actually doing. Do that. Maybe you have to be more assertive with your reality and be super real in general. If you're not being super real, you're not going to be super real with yourself, which is the most important thing. Reality is a mirror. Remember the mirror at 6, right? We're picking out those things and reconstructing our own mirror. You have to be able to look at that broken mirror, the old paradigm of the world, and reconstruct your new paradigm as things start happening, okay? Because if not, you're gonna be not rising above these earthly matters, okay? So then we're gonna put that back right there. Then we have in my Native American deck, the Warrior of Vessels. It means that there might be a lot of things going on in your life right now. You might be feeling like you got a lot of things that you got to take care of, but it's super important for you to take a break, all right? Maybe some of you are still working. Maybe some of you are, you know, freaking out about something in particular and you haven't been able to let it go. If you do not let this energy go, it's going to drain you and it's going to hold you back from accessing everything that you're actually looking for in the greater scheme of your reality. Again, this is mostly a warning that you are not working hard enough on yourself, that you need to really go the extra mile, stop sitting on your ass, and really make your reality whatever it is that you're looking to make it. Even if you feel like you're stuck and you can't make anything happen, you can be applying yourself to your studies, you can be thinking about new ways that you can live your life. You should be downsizing, doing something, working on yourself, and letting go of everything else that does not serve you, okay? Most importantly, the biggest issue lies within your inner child. When your inner child is not in alignment right now, it's going to just continuously manifest more and more patterns that are self-sabotaging. Everyone who picked out deck A is having self-sabotaging beliefs. If you're in Patreon, I just recently released a technique where it's like mental clearing. It's a mental clearing technique of alchemy that I've been using lately in my shop. Very powerful stuff, but all of you should be focusing on your emotional center, letting go of everything that doesn't serve you, stepping into more power with yourself, and definitely healing your inner child, because you guys are deficient right now. Being deficient doesn't mean you've lost. So if you're hearing this message and this is you, I'm not saying that you suck, right? I'm just saying that you need to pick up the game. You need to pick up the slack. If this is an Ascension boot camp, pick it up. Run faster, run faster, run faster, because you can do it. I believe in you. I personally picked out deck B, and let's see what we got here. 1313 on the clock when I looked at it. Bam. If you picked out deck B, the key of life, you are embracing life to its absolute maximum right now. Even though it may seem crazy at times where like you feel like you're not really doing anything whatsoever, the key of life is really, really immersing in you, giving you opportunities to grow. You're starting to see all these things like inside of yourself, maybe in other people, even motivated to do something out of the norm, and it's going to really solidify the energies of your life. If you're in my Quantum Reiki course, the key of life, all right, you already know where that is. That's the key of life, the heart chakra. We already know what's going on here. The cards are speaking very clearly. Isis is telling us exactly what we need to do. Focus more on your heart center. Why? Because Pravati is telling us that there's positive changes on the way. Good job, you guys. Good job, good job, good job. Positive changes coming here. That's all super juicy. Now, with those positive changes, sometimes, again, like I said, this card right here of bows, 2 of bows, has to do with sometimes feeling like you're stagnant, like you were forced to kind of like slow down or stop, or what seems to have been a slow down stop. Like this particularly is a moment for you to understand that because you slowed down, or what seems to be a stop, does not mean it is the end or that you are stagnant. Stagnation is only a perception of mind. So what can you do while things seem to be halted? You could always find an alternate route. That alternate route is unique to each and every one of us. I cannot give you a specific answer as to how it's going to help certain people, but for me, This one right here particularly, I noticed that like I had a bunch of extra free time, and there's a bunch of video that I had that I was supposed to be like editing a long time ago, but because everything was going on in my shop so heavily, like I never had actual time to get that done. And now that I don't really have anybody to heal or do anything like that, I am like kind of going a little bit crazy, feeling like, oh man, like I'm so used to working with the public. Hey, how about I changed my way of perception? I've been wanting to just strictly work with video and building community. This is the best time to do it, to solidify my foundations, make my academy even stronger for every light warrior, light worker, empath, psychic that wants to step into the academy and accelerate their ascension, okay? That's what I've been really focusing on. You have some sort of option as well that's like that, but you need to look first at what is the truth there that you need to really embrace. Your personal truth, not everyone else's personal truth, because sometimes we do get stuck in seeing how other people are judging us or what they expect out of us, and we do not let ourselves flourish, okay? So this is a moment for you to really look at what you want and go after that. Then we have the Shaman of Fire. The Shaman of Fire of Bones is basically telling us that there's a lot of abundance that's coming our way. You know, during this time of creating this abundance, we have endless resources. Even if we haven't seemed to like see those resources, and it's really hard to see those resources, you are protected. You have abundance on your side. You just have to keep going with the flow. Just because you have abundance, maybe you're still working, maybe you have passive income, something, right? You should still be wise with how you're going to use your next movements, because you are protected, but with every moment of protection, you always need to use precise wisdom to get you to the next level. Still amazing things happening so far. So then we have the 10 of Bones here, basically telling us that it's a moment for us to just let go of absolutely everything that doesn't serve us anymore. As very similar to like deck A, it's basically telling you that if there's anything there that does not serve you, that's blocking your vision, who cares now? Like nothing's holding you back, right? I definitely took it upon myself to be super real with family, and I told them how I felt about certain things that was not easy for me to deliver, but I had to shake that energy off, because that's exactly who I am, and that's where I'm walking. If you don't get it, you don't get it. That's too bad for you, right? But I know where I'm going. This is exactly what you need to be doing right now. And sometimes when we do those things, they seem like losses, right? Or you might even second guess yourself. And when you do that, like you only cause yourself a disservice. So it's super important for you right now to be like, okay, I'm letting go of these things. Whatever seems like a loss is only going to be replaced, because energy is never actually lost. It's always transmuted, changed in its format for something else. And if we know positive changes are coming for our life, and we're in abundance, and all these other things are happening, this is just a great sign for us to be like, hey, I'm more empowered. I've been getting this impulse to do this one thing. I'm gonna go just do it. Like, what else do I have to do? What else do I have to lose? The only thing that's gonna be actually stopping you is your own lack of being able to act on this ascension gate that we're actually physically walking through. It's super important that you pay attention to this, because if you're not, you're gonna end up missing out on a lot of things that are going on later on in life. So then we have the Earth and Water Dragon, okay? Basically connecting you with your root chakra and your third eye, Kundalini energy in general, which tells you it enables your life to flow with loving force, okay? Prepare for change and to move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected. Have fun, okay? That's exactly what I've been telling you. Expect the unexpected. Life, okay? Enables you to your life to accept loving force in general. Very powerful stuff. Everyone who's right here is in a really great juicy moment. Native American deck is then telling us that the 7 of the sled is that it's a moment for you to look at your light and your dark, and to embrace the two, all right? Because it's only light or dark if you put that label on it. If you say, hey, you know, I'm the one that's not allowing myself to truly flourish in general. I'm not the one that's allowing myself to expand in the directions that I want to expand in, okay? And with all of this enlightenment is non-dualistic, it's non-polaric. If you truly want to rise above, embrace the darkness, embrace the light, and find the middle ground for both of you, because that's exactly what needs to be done for. Finally, we have the Cloud card, another upside down card, basically telling us the wood. The wood has to do with abundance, okay? So the wood doesn't necessarily come up negatively towards abundance at all. It tells you that you're going towards abundance and you're getting your abundance. But if your focus has been mostly abundance, okay, you're kind of stepping away from the other aspects down here that are being told to you. Because we already know that with the Shaman of Fire, your abundance is secure, okay? So that means if you're really hyper aware of the kind of abundance that you're going to be producing, you're just going to run out of gas and you're just going to feel really, really drained with everything that's going on. So allow yourself to kind of see beyond the illusion of finances and currency. Live in this vibration that you are taken care of financially, that you have everything going on for you. If you can actually shift your mind into this, you're going to see a lot of shifts happen to you very easily. That's one of the things I've definitely noticed in my life most recently. There are a lot of people out here who are struggling with abundance. I've actually stopped caring about it. It was really weird. I got to this point where I was like, money's dumb, right? And like, even though like the world needs money to operate, to make itself feel comfortable, the third dimension is tiresome with this whole currency crap. And the moment I was like, I'm not gonna let money in fact bother me during this time, you know, like because I run a small business and all these other things, I'm not going to go ahead, I'm not going to let that like drive every movement that I'm going to make. I'm going to instead live my life abundantly. And as a fact of doing that, I have seen abundance step into my life actually quite easily with less struggle than I've ever had before. Now, I know that seems very like oxymoron for some people in the third dimension, because a lot of people struggle with abundance. They struggle like, oh my God, I'm a waiter, I'm this, and I don't have like this going on. Or maybe I had a 401k and that took a huge dip. Like all of that, okay, it's happening for a reason, okay? So you need to take a moment right now and just breathe. Just relax, okay? There's so many abundance factors here that are telling you that you're okay, that all you have to do is literally chill, okay? Again, it doesn't matter which one you're in. It's all because we're creating our foundations. Deck A, work on yourself, let go of all the fear. A lot of you guys are working in fear right now, and that's going to work against you in the long run. Heal your inner child, heal your sacral chakra, give yourself more love, detach from that abundance issue. When it comes to everyone in Deck B, work on yourselves. You're taken care of. Take advantage of this moment. Think outside of the box. Your abundance is taken care of. So stop focusing on your abundance. Give yourself and your life a little bit more love. And everyone needs to embrace expanding their third eye and their beliefs about this cosmos in general, okay? Because a lot of us are stuck on the human storyline. A lot of us are stepping into the star storyline. Who are you beyond the things that are happening in the world? This is why it seems like this is dragging out, because until people get the message that they're supposed to be loving themselves and we're supposed to be working as a collective, because that's what this Earth Healing card means, that we are healing because we're starting to understand that we are interconnected and we're collective. And in order for our foundations on Earth to expand, we must embrace the understanding that is here, okay? So sometimes that's beyond the abundance factor. Sometimes that's beyond like the inner child stuff, because what we're actually looking for is this new foundation. Regardless on which deck you are in, the ultimate goal is this. Whatever we've been hearing here is to solidify that you're okay, or that you need to work on something so you can get closer to this objective. Because right now, each one of us is contributing unknowingly to the greater good of the foundation of Earth that will take place once we're done with this whole entire COVID corona thing. And even if you're not watching this during this time of the COVID corona, I know this is going to play out again later. There's going to be massive collective shifts that are going to be happening as we perpetually dive ourselves deeper and deeper and deeper into New Earth. So whenever you see this, doesn't matter when, it's super important for you to just understand how this all works out, because this is the most important lesson for all of us right now, that we are together and that we can thrive if we take care of each other by definitely taking care of our consciousness, okay? Together, we will succeed. I'm sending you all of my love. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Obviously, press the notification bell. Sending you all my love.